Abandoned by her family, the girl felt uneasy. It seemed like the baby in her belly was about to come. She endured the unbearable pain, trying to run outside to find help. But on this desolate ranch, there wasn't a soul in sight. Calming herself down, she remembered the method her native friend once taught her. At this point, she had no choice but to rely on herself. Jessica dragged herself to a nearby riverbank, preparing to give birth in the most primitive way. It was her first time trying this, but it was the only way to save her baby. With each agonizing scream, it felt like all the pain and coldness of the world were pouring out of her in that moment. But her efforts finally paid off. A healthy baby was born. At that moment, Jessica smiled. All the pain and hardship were worth it. As mother and child returned to the shore, her native friend Mary arrived just in time. She couldn't believe it. Jessica had done it all alone while she was only gone for a short while. Meanwhile, another person appeared in the distance. When she needed help, no one showed up. Now that it was over, everyone suddenly decided to appear. But it was Jessica's father. So, she invited him into her humble home. Since their falling out, the old man had been feeling guilty. This time, he sincerely asked her to come home. Now that there was a baby, he said home was where they belonged. But Jessica refused without hesitation. After all, it was her mother who had kicked her out, leaving her in this desolate place. So when her father pleaded with her, Jessica stood her ground. Seeing her determination, the old man didn't press further. Sure enough, when he returned home, his wife was already waiting. But when she found out he hadn't brought Jessica back, she cursed him for being useless. And when she heard Jessica had given birth to a boy, she flew into a rage, demanding he bring them back immediately. But this time, the old man refused to obey her. He even considered writing to Jack at the front lines to expose everything. Clearly, the old man had finally woken up. He was disgusted by their past actions. Hearing this, his wife became hysterical. She feared that if their marriage scam was exposed, not only would they lose their noble status, but she and her eldest daughter might end up in prison. In her fury, the old woman revealed a secret. Her eldest daughter wasn't his child. She was from her first marriage. When she married her second husband, she was already pregnant with Meg. She had deceived him completely. Hearing this devastating truth, the old man was overcome with emotion. He always knew she was immoral, but he never imagined Meg wasn't his daughter. The woman's sharp words only made things worse. And then, the old man collapsed, blood rushing to his head. But instead of helping him, the old woman coldly let him fall to the ground. Even in this life-threatening moment, she remained indifferent.